Today, we're going to take a closer look at an event which was born in Venice in 1980 and which turned into probably the most important event in architecture, the International Architecture Biennale of Venice. My little Italian espresso. The principal mission of the Architecture Biennale of Venice is to showcase innovative architectural responses to social, environmental, urban, and technological challenges. The title of the Biennale of 1996, curated by the late Austrian architect Hans Hollein, pretty well defines its underlying spirit. He called it Sensori del futuro, the architect as seismograph. Hollein highlights the architect's ability to catch underground vibes of present times, translating them into the future. 26 years later, the curator of the Architecture Biennale of 2023, Lesley Lokko, explicitly expanded Hans Hollein's orientation towards the future and turned the Biennale into the laboratory of the future. Roberto Cicuto, the former president of the Venice Biennale, said at the press conference in May 2023 that the Venice Biennale in fact wanted to institutionalize the idea of the laboratory of the future for both the architecture and the art biennales. He said it should become a place where curators, artists, and architects should test the hypothesis. Now back to the curator of the Biennale, Lesley Lokko. Ms. Lokko is a Scottish-Ghanaian architect, academic, and novelist. After a trailblazing international career, Ms. Lokko created a postgraduate school for architecture and public events in Ghana and called it the African Futures Institute, AFI. It was founded in 2021 in Accra. It is indeed interesting to call a school for architecture a Futures Institute. The AFI wants to produce new knowledge about the discipline of architecture and urbanism by using innovative research methods. Lesley Lokko wants nothing less than to move architecture to the central field of research for the future of human society. She believes it is impossible to build a better world if one cannot first imagine it. For the Biennale of 2023, Lesley Lokko chose the twin themes decolonization and decarbonization, and she put Africa and the Global South at the heart of the event, with the aim of providing a glimpse of future practices and ways of seeing and being in the world. In an exclusive interview with Dezeen, she explained that Africa was a powerful place from which to examine the issues that will dominate the next century. While the Architecture Biennale of 2023 was widely acknowledged to have taken the Biennale into a new direction, there was also critique. The critique was less about Lesley Lokko's curation, but more about the general tilt of the Architecture Biennale of Venice towards being non-architectural and maybe even anti-architectural. A dispute between two camps has been going on for many years. One camp says, go beyond buildings, and the other says, talk only about buildings. Because that is the expertise of architects. Indeed, if you walk through the pavilions of the Architecture Biennale, you will see many installations, films, critical art practices, and other visually appealing forms of exhibits. For the general audience, this makes it of course all the more interesting. It'll be a bit boring for them to see building after building. But there are architects who want to see more real buildings. It's a debated question. The movement of modernism of the 1920s and 1930s created a new breed of architects who saw themselves as innovators and non-conventional designers of all aspects of everyday life. For them, architecture was not just about constructing buildings. It was about food, design, lifestyle, films, the arts. This trend of expanding the understanding of what architecture is has continued. In the 21st century, the topics relevant for architecture have expanded into sustainability, decarbonization, SDGs, digital commons, post-colonialism, and many other new issues far beyond the skin of physical structures. In the next episode, we will visit the Danish pavilion at the Venice Architecture Biennale of 2023 and take a look at how architects, landscape designers, and ecologists are collaboratively responding to the challenge of rising sea levels in Denmark. See you next time.